The Sopranos creator says prestige television is dead, reveals he's been asked to dumb down recent projects. This comes to us from Spencer Bakuli over at Bounding Into Comics. According to the Sopranos creator David Chase, thanks to an ever growing fear among Hollywood that audiences are either unable or unwilling to engage with any level of complexity in their storytelling, the era of prestige television, if not the entire idea of the medium as an actual art form, has officially come to an end. The storied creator offered his take on the current television landscape during a January 12th career retrospective interview to UK news outlet The Times, met therein with the observation from his host, Jonathan Dean, that the current year would mark the 25th anniversary of his seminal series, The Sopranos. Rather than respond with any overt joyous sentiment, though, Chase instead lamented, quote, "Yes, this is the 25th anniversary, so of course it's a celebration, but perhaps we shouldn't look at it that way. Maybe we should look at it like a funeral." Spoken like a mobster, right? Jeez. As to whose services they would be attending, Chase explained that the deceased was none other than the era of prestige television, a catch-all term for shows such as Breaking Bad or The Sopranos, which present audiences with a more mature, intricate, and overarching stories than usually offered by the average network production. That was a blip, a 25-year blip, he said. And to be clear, I'm not talking about only The Sopranos, but a lot of other hugely talented people out there who I feel increasingly bad for. Moving to provide context to his feelings, the television creator recalled to his host that when he first made a play at becoming a television screenwriter, he did so with the intention of showing Hollywood just what the medium was capable of. Quote, "I made them regret all their decades of stupidity and greed. Back then, the networks were in an artistic pit, a shithole. The process was repulsive. In meetings, the people would always ask me to take out the one thing that made an episode worth doing. I should have quit." To this end, Chase noted that at this point in his career, in light of absolute creative freedom and ad-free airtime that The Sopranos was eventually afforded at HBO, he felt he had, quote, "the best job in Hollywood." Now, however, he laments the fact that the industry is going back to where it once was. They're going to have commercials, he noted, referencing a recent introduction of ads to both Netflix and Prime Video. Quote, "And I've already been told to dumb it down," right? In support of his opinion, Chase then told Dean that one of his current projects, a series described by the latter as being, quote, "about a high-end prostitute forced into witness protection," unquote, and co-written by FX's A Teacher miniseries screenwriter Hannah Fidel. It's found itself stalling in development because of their unspecified network partners are worried that viewers will find the story that Chase and Fidel have created to be too complicated to follow, kind of like that sentence I just spat out. Quote, "Who is this all really for?" questioned Chase. "I guess the stockholders, maybe?" Closing out his thoughts on the topic, Chase asserted, quote, "As the human race goes on, we are more into multitasking. Your phone is just one symptom. But who can really focus? Your mother could be dying and you're by her hospital bed taking calls. We seem to be confused and audiences can't keep their minds on things. So we can't make anything that makes too much sense, takes our attention, and requires an audience to focus." That's that's pretty sad, but it kind of underlines what Scorsese said about the Marvel movies being theme park rides, right? That they had a formula that this happened and this happened, this happened, this happened, then there was a post-credit scene. You know, that's a theme park ride. I agree with that. So maybe Chase is kind of echoing that thing as well, that it's not so much about art anymore, it's about the product. It's kind of like how a Coke can is always a Coke can until somebody else grabs it, cuts it up, and turns it into like a little sculpture. That's what Chase did with television back in the days of The Sopranos' first airing, right? It changed the way television was going. Unfortunately, it's headed back to the factory-issued Coke can version. How do you feel about this? Feel free to let us know down in the comments and hit like and subscribe, because I'm sure this guy's not done complaining about this stuff yet. He's probably got a good angle on it, too. See you in the next one.